Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting adventure with live fire cooking with Grandpa's Pride. Who doesn't love good prime rib? So, prime rib is really a great way to excuse me, be right back. Change of plans, y'all. We're doing chicken. See y'all in a bit. Okay, so we're inside now. I have the offending fowl ready to go. So what I'm going to do is there's two ways you can cook a chicken other than live or dead. You can butterfly it or you can cook it whole. I prefer to butterfly them. It flattens it out, it cooks more evenly. So that's what I choose to do. You can cook them whole just as well. If you do cook them whole, sometimes people will tie the legs together, otherwise they'll just like splay out and it looks kind of like roadkill's been sitting for a while. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my handy dandy chicken shears, poultry shears. I'm going to clean up the chicken a bit. Don't need that. Now this is the spine of the chicken here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shears, and these shears are really good. They're poultry shears. The only thing I don't like about them is they don't come apart. I wish they would come apart so I could clean them, make sure they were, a little cleaner, but they sit and they soak, so they're fine. So basically going to just find the center point and go along making nice crunching noises. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the backbone out because I just want this to be able to lie flat. Now I could stop right here and just lay it out, but I'll go ahead and take the backbone out. And again, you can save this for stock, but as I've said before, I don't make stock. My wife makes stock, so I'll save it for her. There we go. Kind of all Hannibal Lecter-like. All right, now the spine is out. Okay, so this is our chicken. And this little bone right here, to get it to lay flat, I'm just going to take my knife, make a nice cut. Now, I'm going to flip her over. I'm assuming it's a her. Now the fun part. I love that sound in a weird kind of way. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off these wingtips, because as I said before, all they're going to do is burn. Now, some people keep them on there and they tuck them under, but I just don't want to fool with them. So, away they go for the stock pot. Now, that is pretty much a butterflied chicken. You can see with it being flat like this, it's going to cook a lot easier, a lot more evenly. All this in there, anything you want to clean out, you can. Now, I could go ahead and just take out this keel bone, but I don't really care about it being out. It cooks up fine. So, over here I have 1 quart of water. To that I'm going to add half a cup of sea salt. I'm using sea salt versus kosher salt because sea salt will dissolve in water without too much trouble, whereas kosher salt would have to be warm water and you have to work it a while. All right, I'm going to add another quart of water. So I got a very simple brine of 2 quarts water to half a cup of sea salt. I'm not going to add anything else to it at this point. Because again, all I'm doing is I'm just wanting to create a simple brine for the chicken to rest in. Because when we do the brine, it's going to take in flavor, the moisture. The salt's going to help retain moisture. So I'm going to take the Yardbird, set it in there just like that. And I'm going to leave this for like 3 or 4 hours. And when it's done, we'll go ahead and get it seasoned up and get it on the smoker. So that's it for now. So in about 3 hours, I'll come back. We'll get it onto the smoker. Well, we'll season it up first. We'll get it on the smoker and we'll get it going. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so what I've done is the chicken's been in the brine for about 3-4 hours. I've taken it out. I've rinsed it off. And now I'm just going to put a little oil and a little seasoning on it. I don't want to be too heavy because remember the brine had salt. So just going to sprinkle a little olive oil as a binder. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook on one side, then after a while I'm going to flip it. This is Meat Church's fajita seasoning. Thought it'd make a neat little flavor. So what I'm going to do now is just flip it over. Smells really good. Do the same thing to this side. Just a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil also helps the skin to crisp up. Good thing about chicken is it's got a lot of fat underneath the skin. Just like me. So that'll help too. Not going to go crazy with the seasoning. Okay. Pull this back a little bit. Get some rub down into these pockets. A little flavor down in there. There. Okay, we're done with it. So what I'm going to do now is just going to take it outside, put it on the smoker for about an hour, hour and a half, then I'll flip it and flip it skin side down so it'll crisp up. Be right back. All right, everybody, we're outside with the Sherry Lynn. It's cruising around 275-ish. Got the chicken, so all I'm going to do is simply put it on, and then we'll go from there with it. I'm going to put it on my middle rack because that's the most consistent one that I know about. So I'm going to put it rest side down first. And then later when I come back, I'm going to flip them. So all I got to do now is just check the fire and see what's going on, and we'll be back. Hey there, everybody. It's time for another one of Jeff's Top Tech Tips, which today is more of a technique. I'm going to show you my recipe for a very simple brine. A brine is really important when you're doing pork or poultry, anything that's really lean white meat. It helps to bring in moisture and keep it from drying out while it's cooking. So basically what I have in here is a quart of water, and I'm going to take half a cup of sea salt. Now you can use kosher salt, but I like to use sea salt when I'm making my brines because sea salt will break down in regular room temperature water, where if you're using kosher salt, you've got to have hot water, and you don't really want to have a hot brine when you introduce your meat. So mix that up. This is a quart of water in here. This is another quart of water. So basically what I have here is 2 quarts of water to half a cup of sea salt. Now to this, I'm going to introduce some syrup, some Karo syrup. Because what it is, when you do this, sugar or sucrose tends to be hygroscopic. It attracts water. So what's going to happen is when you're adding the brine, your meat to the brine, you're going to be drawing moisture out of the meat with the salt. However, because everything wants to have an equilibrium, it's going to take water back in with it. So it's going to be going in and out the whole time while it's brining. So I'm going to put about about a quarter cup of corn syrup. And I just like corn syrup because, again, regular salt or regular sugar won't break down in room temperature water. So you just mix that till it's all broken down. Introduce your meat. The smaller the meat, the less time you'll need to brine. The chickens we're cooking today, I brine for about 3.5 to 4 hours. So you can experiment with it, try it, do a little longer, a little less, see how you like it. You just really can't go wrong with a good brine. So enjoy it, and that's today's top tech tip. Okay, so I just temped the chicken. You can hear it sizzling in there. It's running about 160, so I'm going to take it out now, and I'm going to take them, I'm going to flip them. I got 2 chickens in there right now, so. Take them and do a quick, there we go. All right, everybody back in. Okay, these should be ready in probably another 30-45 minutes or so, and then we'll be eating. See ya. Okay, so the offending yardbird is completed. As you can see, the color came out really nicely. This thing is super juicy. When I picked it up to flip it back over, juice poured out of it everywhere. So now I'm gonna try to do a better job of cutting this chicken up than I usually do. Just the leg. Knuckle in there somewhere. Let's have a bite. That's really good. Not too salty. Perfect kiss of smoke. Bite through skin. So that's really nice. So just remember, anytime you got a rooster or chicken that's giving you noise, little 12 gauge will fix that. Simple brine. Cook it over some pecan and oak smoke. You'll have a really good dinner. Remember, be nice to people out there. It's a crazy world, and Riley says hello. So we'll talk to you later next time.